Hey guys, Brent Hull Wednesday design video. Back in Tennessee, looking at a house, trying to change it based on what it wants to be. Come join me. Okay, no flip this time, but something that we're showing kind of two different ways of treating this house. Now, this is a house in Nashville that I'm helping my friends with. The problem is, and I've tackled this house a couple of different times. The problem is it's confusing to look at exactly what it is. This is a house that doesn't know what it wants to be. And I kind of had a revelation of which direction I think we should go in. But, you know, if we just took out and just looked at that window right there, that arch window, it looks like it'd be in a classical revival house, maybe an Italian revival house or something like that. You look at the porte cochere with these columns and this lattice and this balustrade above, you got the same thing over the door. But then you go over here, we've got a little bit of a cottage dormer going on here, and this form is weird, and so it doesn't really know what it wants to be. So what I'm going to propose to them is that we just take it straight cottage, de-emphasize and even get rid of some of this classicism that's going on. I've gable ended this porte cochere. I put a roof over top of it, maybe even having a little eyebrow venting in there just to kind of play up that cottage look. I've changed the columns from fake columns to a stone pier, and I've got this beam going across, and so the stonework that they've got here is actually really nice, and so we're actually going to use that stonework to kind of de-emphasize this classicism that's there. I realized that the classicism was something that was done during a remodel in the last 10 years, and so that's not really the way this house looks. We're going to simplify these windows. I showed that on the other one where I took out these arched windows. They're not really appropriate for a cottage, so I've got these windows changing to maybe some casements that go across here. This entryway can change now. So if we change this to a shed roof and we have, you know, stone or even timbered openings across here, this could be very different. So I'm feeling like this house can change quite a bit, and I just want to take it in that cottage direction. Essentially what's happened is, if you look at kind of the front of it and kind of what I'm trying to bring to it is overall there is a motor court that there's a parking issue that needs to be managed here, okay? So you've got basically this house sitting right here, and you know, you come in this driveway, come around the back. Once cars get down here, they get stuck, and there isn't a very good turnaround. So we're going to try to create a motor court here where people would come in and park, and then they can leave very easily. This tree is going away because it got struck by lightning, and so that tree is dead. And so we're trying to kind of figure out how we put this thing together. Well, what I'm showing is I want a stone wall that comes across the front. I want a gate, okay? Our mailbox can go out here. You could have lanterns on this thing if we wanted to play around with it. Then you've got the motor court down below, which is I'm seeing as just a hedge. It could be stone wall again, probably a little bit too much, but this could be a turnaround with a hedge and a little trail that comes up here, right? Where this house to me is a little bit storybook. It's a little bit this quaint kind of charming cottage. And so I want to play up that charm. And you can see that I've with the gable end over here and these other looks, how it changes, taking away that classical portico and building a roof over top of it kind of gives it much more of a cottage feel. And so that's what we're going to play up. We're going to try to get this house to kind of tell a better story about how it's a cottage and why it's there, so that all the parts and pieces then to begin to make sense. And essentially what we're trying to do, guys, is all of the parts and pieces matter. The way that stone wall is made, okay, the way that wood gate is made, this kind of hedging and how we lay this out. Everything tells a story. And just like those windows look classical or Italian revival-y or something, we're going to change the way that looks and the way that feels. So what we're going to do then is, you know, they've got this arch thing in the back. We're going to go back with something, you know, they've got a nice garage, but this was an art studio at one point. And so they've got these kind of ornate brackets, this pedimented end. And to me, if you didn't know that was a garage, you would say that's a nice little, you know, entry and living area. But it doesn't belong in a garage. It doesn't belong, it's not something. So we're going to dress this down. We're going to put a single door in there, maybe a little cottage door right there, and then maybe have a little casement window that sits right beside it. This is a little shed that goes over top just to allow rainwater to go away, but that really changes the feel of this thing. Again, all of these parts and pieces need to contribute and kind of need to tell the same story. See my mailbox over here, I'm going to put it over by the gate. And I think I'm accentuating and adding to these stone walls that are already there. And because there's good stone, because it's very pretty, and because it's laid up as a cottage style, with this low wall, right from the beginning, I feel like we're going to create this storybook charm, and realize that this sweep and the shape of this driveway is an important piece of that. Because if this came in straight, or if this was a circle drive, right, that came in, it was very that didn't wander, that kind of came in very purposefully and circled around, it changes the story of arrival, and it formalizes this thing probably too much. And so this kind of meandering way of kind of getting there, and kind of, you know, this hidden discovery that happens here is like, what am I going to see when I get down to there, and how is this all going to work together? I think are all part of those contributing elements that make this house special and make it great. So let me know what you guys think. I really like how this is coming together. I think it's a nice little storybook. Let me know what you guys think. Okay guys, did you see that? Do you see that house wanting to be a little bit more of a cottage, taking out those colonial revival neoclassical elements? I think it helps it out. I think it can really be charming. Let me know what you guys think. I'm Brent Hull. Thanks for watching.